Core 4x4 Race Series lower control arms for the 4th Gen Ram 1500 install. Let's go! You ever seen Gone Girl with Ben Affleck? What a weird movie. Alright, so today I am installing these Race Series lower control arms from Core 4x4. They're heavy duty. They made them a little bit bigger. And these are the stock ones, rubber bushing. So you got bushing movement and the rubber. It's just a bad combination. It causes nasty wheel hop. I do have Teir 3s in here. I got those about 8 years ago. And about 9 years ago, a couple of us in the group decided, hey, everyone has wheel hop. We have to figure out a way to solve this. So we did a bunch of research for weeks and came down a Core 4x4 online. I contacted Spence. So I sent him a bunch of dimensions back and forth a few times, and then he sent me a set. It's a Teir 3 set, and they've been working great ever since. I'm gonna take those off, and I'm gonna do a weight comparison between the Race Series and the stock ones. And after I take those off, they're going up here. You know, they really helped put the power to the ground without the wheel hop. They've been like a brother to me. So I'm not selling them. They're in decent condition, but they're going up there. And the fact that this is the first 4th gen set, I mean, I could sell those on eBay for like $1,000. I also did a semi-install video 8 years ago. I'll put that in the description as well. It was in the winter. I was in a little tiny garage at the time. All right, let me pull the jack out. I'll show you where to put the jack stands, and you're gonna need a jack as well to lift the pumpkin up and down. Let's get to it. It's the jack cam. All right, so my truck's lowered, so I'm gonna go up a little higher than normal. I didn't have to go up this high before because I had a stock height, but I'm gonna go up a little higher and then put the jack stand. So I got the jack about 6 inches away from the lower control mount on each side. I'm gonna lower the truck onto the jack stands. Whoa, that was a little too quick. I'm trying to hold the camera at the same time. A little too quick for me, but we're good. So now that the frame is being held up, we can go up and down with the pumpkin as we need to align the bolts and install these lower control arms. So I got the pumpkin up, you know, a few inches for now. I'm gonna start taking off the mounting bolts on the lower control arms. They are 15/16. The passenger side, we're gonna take off one at a time. You know, we're gonna take one off, put one on, then do the other side, take it off and put it on. You don't wanna take them both off. It's kind of holding everything together. Go. That's one. So for this side of the bolt, I'm lazy. I don't want to take the shock off. So I don't have a 15/16 open end wrench. So I got a giant crescent wrench. I'm just gonna hold this bolt and then use the impact to get the nut off. All right, here's the nut. And there you go. All right, here it is. Let me do a wide lens here. There it is. I mean, it's a little beat. It's 8 years old. Little tiny bit of rust, but other than that, the bushings have held up. I've probably only greased these about 4 or 5 times in the past 8 years, and it's still held the grease really good. Poly bushings look great. No failure on that side. I know there's a lot of controversy a couple years ago with the Johnny joint. What side should it go on? The back or the front? Mine were to the front. And I had 0 issues. It wasn't a problem at all. And now that I'm putting these Race Series on, there's Johnny joints on both ends, so that conspiracy theory is now blown up. Should they go on the front? Should they go on the back? Honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. Because in this case, they're gonna be on the front and the back. These seem a little bit lighter than these, not too much, and these are just obnoxiously light because they're hollow. But let me get the scale and I'll weigh them real quick. First, I wanna weigh the stock low control arm. I got the rag on there, I taired it, so it's zeros. This is in pounds. Looking at about 5.1 pounds for the stock low control arm. And we'll do this one. This is a Teir 3 lower control arm. And let's check this one out. And this gotta be like 10 pounds. About 12.1 on the steel. So let's do the Race Series real quick. There ain't gonna be much of a difference on this. 11.1, so about a pound. These are a pound lighter than the steel ones. Next step is lining up the holes, and I want the grease fittings on one side, pointed down so it's easy to grease. All right, got the bolt in this side, and it is pretty perfectly lined up. It's gonna be a nice, easy install. And to adjust these, just loosen this nut and turn it, adjust it till you need it, and then just give it a little hand tight and line it up, and we'll give these a crank after it's mounted. I did put a little Loctite on this years ago. I'm probably gonna do the same thing. I'll just put a little dab on the threads before I crank them. There you go, I'll do the other side. All right, let's slap these in. The grease fitting's down. I have about a thread or two showing, and that side's kind of closer. I'll just make sure when I do that side that it matches, because I'm slightly OCD, just a little bit. Go to your home. Atta girl. That's one. And I'm gonna line up the front. And if the bolt don't fit, I'm just gonna go up and down a little bit with the pumpkin to get it perfect so she slides on in. I think it's time for a Zen. There you go. Just went up a CH, man, that's it. I could have went up a little more, you know, but these bolts are pretty strong. Threads are fine. Put the nut on. Here's the thing about these. This flange is, doesn't have much support, and if you over torque these, they'll close and they'll cause binding with the poly bushings. You don't want that. What I'm gonna do is just go your typical ooga dooga. It ain't going anywhere. I know the power this thing has, and I understand and can evaluate the ooga doogas in my head. You want to tighten this so it just touches the bushing. You don't want it too tight, you don't want it too loose. If it's too loose, you'll hear that. All right, see, I met the surface. The mating surface is now met. This is all I'm gonna do. That's it. A couple ooga doogas, dude. More than that, you're gonna start squeezing this flange shut and you're gonna have issues. That's it. Now I'm gonna take this, widen it a little more, put it on these nuts, and give these a good little That's it. My buddy Josh is watching this. He will comment, It's a Portuguese thing. If he watches this. If he doesn't watch it, you're not gonna see it. It's all right. And once the nuts are tight, you might crank the whole low control arm. So just grab your wrench and just turn it a little bit so it's straight and aligned with all the other components. You don't want it on an angle. Let me clean this up a little bit. Goes well with my Viking shocks. All right, this side's done. I'm gonna grease the nipples a little bit. They come greased, but I'm gonna squirt a little more. I have some synthetic grease. I'm gonna squirt in there just a little bit. All right, there's the driver's side. It's all set, nice and tight. It's straight. Looks good with the Viking shocks. Let's do the other side. Now, Rebel Ridge is a good movie. That's on right now. That's a damn good movie. Ain't too many good movies these days. Gas tank's in the way. I'm gonna have to switch sides a little bit. Gotta give it a little whack. How do you do, tires? Bye-bye. Yes, sir. All right, driver's side's out. Let's check the condition of this one. Remember, 8 years old, a little bit of rust. Not bad. Bushings are still intact. The poly bushing is still good. Yeah, that's from the bracket arm though. That's normal. Let's grab the other one. And just in case if you're wondering if there's a left and right OEM side, they are both exactly the same with the exact same part number on them. 048771618D, OEM. One side says axle, the other side says frame. That's because these brackets need to be in the right spot to hold the brake cable. Bolts, make sure it lines up perfect, good. All right, that thread spacing I was talking about is going that way, so it matches that one. Nice, that's what I'm talking about. It's in its cherry spot, dude. That was cherry. Aluminum race series from Core4x4 lower control arms for the 4th gen Ram 1500. I think they complement the Viking shocks very well. I wish these trucks came with an aluminum drive shaft. It's so rusty. There's the driver's side. And the passenger side. Let me pull it out and you can take a peek at it when it's in its natural environment. Go. Screws are nice and tight so Bruno doesn't steal them. The first set of Core 4x4 lower control arms for the 4th gen Ram 1500. I am taking bids if you want to leave your offer in the comments. All right guys, so you have the lower control arms Core 4x4 install. I know you've seen it before, well now you've seen it again. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. Got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. See you on the next one. Until next time. Peace. What are you doing?
Putting it down, dude.
You don't work here.